It's a quiet night at Zendik Farm, 1999. Helen Zuman steps into a tiny shack, barely bigger than a double bed with a lone nightstand. This is where dates happen, arranged by go-betweens. No romantic cliches, just raw negotiation with desire. But within this system lurks a secret. Errol, the matriarch, watches closely, crushing any real love that might slip free from her grasp. Can intimacy truly flourish here, or is something darker at play? Helen's first encounter with Zendik's dating shacks is a crash course in how desire is both cultivated and crushed. But why does Errol wield love like a weapon? Let's unpack how control masquerades as community. At Zendik Farm, Helen watches Errol subtly sabotage bonds. When two followers grow too close, Errol swoops in with chilling precision, whispering fears that fracture trust. One couple, Sam and June, are ripped apart despite their quiet happiness. Errol's power isn't just control, it's the destruction of the very heart that might turn the tide. Imagine desire as a bird in a gilded cage, beautiful but suffocating. The more you try to tame passion with rules, the more it flaps against the bars, desperate to break free. That's exactly what happens at Zendik, where dates happen under watchful eyes, making spontaneity a ghost. Desire needs space, not prisons. But here's the curveball. Helen learns that when Errol's chokehold loosens, miracles happen, trust blooms, and raw, vibrant intimacy surges. The promise isn't just love confined, it's love reborn, fierce and free. Control isn't the enemy, it's the trap waiting to be unlocked. Every cult has its mythology, but Zendik's death culture stories trap followers deep in fear and obedience. Helen discovers how narratives shape realities, sometimes to terrifying effect. Helen learns about death culture, the apocalyptic story Errol spins to keep everyone tethered to fear. Followers believe society outside is doomed, so give up freedoms for survival at Zendik. This story crushes doubts, steamrolling any spark of rebellion or self-trust. It's a mental cage that no amount of physical space can escape. Think of these stories as quicksand. The more you thrash, the deeper you sink. Followers drown in fear-based narratives, losing sight of inner truth. That's why Errol's version wins. It silences the mind, replacing it with a collective truth that demands absolute loyalty, smothering individual trust. Helen's breakthrough comes when she begins telling a different story, one where miracles grow from crisis and personal awakening. By challenging death culture's grip, she reclaims her voice, inspiring others to do the same. Changing the story isn't just semantics, it's liberation in motion. Just when all seems lost under Errol's shadow, Helen encounters moments of unexpected grace. Crisis becomes a crucible for transformation, but only if you trust yourself enough to leap. When Helen hits rock bottom, alienated, isolated, doubting everything, her worldview fractures like glass. The farm's oppressive hold feels unbreakable, but this crisis cracks open a doorway. It's the painful moment where old beliefs die and new possibilities seep in, ripe for the taking. Out of this chaos, something wild and rare blooms, raw, unscripted intimacy. Helen witnesses couples rejecting rigid dates, choosing vulnerability over control. Intimacy becomes less a performance and more a risky surrender, a miracle nobody at Zendik thought possible. The secret: self-trust. Helen's journey shows that when you dare to believe in your inner compass, even when everyone else says no, you ignite change that can rewrite entire cultures. Trusting yourself doesn't just save you, it births new worlds. Back in that tiny shack where Helen's journey began, the sterile walls no longer feel like a cage but a place of possibility. The real captivity wasn't physical, it was the stories and controls that strangled desire and trust. So here's a late-night challenge. Next time you feel stuck, whether in love or life, ask yourself, what story am I telling? And then dare to rewrite it. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.